Hey guys, today we're driving the 2022 Land Rover Defender 90 with a V8. I'm joined by substitute Topher, and we're going to be taking this for a drive. Let's walk you around it real quick. We just had a Land Rover Defender 90, was it the first edition, I think? A couple weeks ago, we did a video on that. This has a lot of the same features. It's a little bit more expensive though. Base price is $105,000. As tested, it's about 108 grand. This has the 5-liter supercharged V8. It makes 500 and forgot the horsepower.
518.
Makes 518 horsepower and 461 pound-feet of torque. It's a monster. It's just an absolute beast. We have air suspension, gives us a ton of ground clearance, approach departure angle, and you can also slam that to the ground. But let's leave it lifted because it looks extra mean on these 22-inch wheels. Also, just can we appreciate the beautiful Alcantara steering wheel that this Defender V8 comes with? What a badass interior. This looks like a Bond villain car or something.
It's a total baddie car, yeah.
It really is. I love this short wheelbase Defender. Super fun to drive. In my week with it, I really enjoyed this thing. You've had this for the night, and
just a day.
You've had a hoon, burned about a quarter tank of gas.
Yeah, I spent like $20 to go 40 miles.
Well worth it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's rated for 16 miles to the gallon combined. Here it is in the air suspension full off-road mode. Let's bring it down to a more reasonable height. I love how quickly the air suspension operates in this Defender 90. It raises just about as quickly as it lowers. Quad exhaust tips, nice big beefy recovery points. Got blacked out taillights, which look pretty good too. Full-size spare tire. There's a little bit of a cargo tray underneath here for jack and accessories, but really that's about it. It's kind of a plasticky, rugged material.
It's grippy though.
It is, yes, it's very grippy. You've got a power outlet right here, 110 volt, 180 watts. A little bit more storage space here.
You want some revs?
Yeah, let's give it some revs. Heck yeah. It's a little bit more muted of an exhaust than I was expecting. Yeah. It's not full Wrangler 392 levels of insanity.
Or full SVR like, Range Rover Jaguar.
Yes, exactly.
It's a nice middle ground.
I think so.
Yeah.
Inside it sounds pretty good. We'll drive it in a minute here. Show you guys the back seat. I mean, pretty much the same as the last Defender 90 that we drove. I'll just get back here. It's actually pretty spacious in the back of this Defender 90. You just you just don't get a lot of trunk space, but these seats all fold down and wow.
No, that does look spacious back there.
Oh, it's fine. I'm perfectly comfortable back here. I have enough room I have as much room as I would in a normal Defender, I think. Mm-hmm. These what do they call these?
Skylights?
Safari windows?
I don't know.
Great visibility in the back. Okay, let's extract myself. Let's pop the hood, look under the engine bay. Okay. Got a 5-volt USB outlet back here, and then a little place to put accessories to mount an iPad or something like that. It would be nice if the seat went forward and back on its own instead of you having to manually press the button. You do hear a little bit of supercharger whine from this V8. We didn't have that in the F-Type.
You hear it mostly at low revs.
Yes.
And then it kind of fades away.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Oh, man. We need more off-roaders with big V8s. Come on, Ford. Come on, Bronco.
It's a little throaty still, though.
It is,
like,
yeah.
You still get that burble.
You get occasional burbles and burps, like exhaust burps.
It does burp.
Yeah. Wow. I just love the steering wheel. Nice infotainment, responsive touchscreen. Proof that Substitute Topher is actually a Topher. It literally says
It does
Topher's
say it on there.
iPhone.
Everyone always asks what my name is. I don't know what. I don't understand that. But okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
We've got a few different drive modes. There's an extra drive mode in this V8 Defender. It's called Dynamic. Yeah, it's called Eco.
Yeah.
It's for all the fuel savings. But Dynamic will stiffen up the adaptive suspension. We have some stiffer sway bars in this Defender V8, but ultimately this is still just, a whole wallow fest. Like you put your foot into it, the whole front end lifts up.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting. We're gonna leave it in Dynamic because we're just gonna be doing a road drive.
Yeah.
These buttons change here. You can change them to fan speed selections or dual climate control.
Or your heated seats.
It
Or
also
your
has a
cooled
limited
seats.
slip rear differential, I think, also. Oh yeah, there you go. That's nifty. Yeah, this is a neat button layout. Once you get accustomed to it, it's actually pretty easy to use and figure out.
Yeah.
Shifter, you've got a 8-speed ZF automatic, sport mode, regular mode, drive. Press the P button to park. Okay, let's just go drive this thing and make V8 noises. First, though, check out this turning radius. Just ridiculously good.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Short wheelbase off-roaders.
I know, it's fun. A few little creaks and rattles from this in the back, but that's okay. Very smooth. Kind of muted, kind of quiet. We have paddle shifters behind the wheel. It's not slow.
No.
That's for sure. I have a nice head-up display showing my tack, my gear indicator, speed.
Wow, that'll let you pull a mean downshift.
Yeah, it really will.
It'll let you bounce off the limiter too.
Yes. Handling's actually pretty good in this Defender 90. This short wheelbase just carves corners a little bit better than the full-size Defender. It's a bit more fun to toss around too. I appreciate that. Dynamic mode definitely feels a little bit stiffer than normal. It's okay, we're going to be doing a little bit of corner carving.
Yeah.
You set around 3,500 RPM, we get some little exhaust burps.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. It's very subtle. Oh yeah.
That was a good one.
It's funny, I was actually expecting this to be a little bit crazier, a little bit louder, more SVR, but it's kind of in between.
Yeah, which I can appreciate.
Where it's not in between is just the performance that it has. This
This
is
sorted.
brutal. Yeah. Wow, this thing is so mean. I love it. Whip a little U-turn here. Torque feels good too. I mean, it pulls.
It does.
Every gear makes a good noise. It's a nice balance between a little bit of supercharger engine noise and the exhaust.
And the ZF 8-speed in any setting is just like such a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like it makes every car better.
It's perfect. It's not snappy or harsh like a DCT. It's just smooth.
And it farts.
Yeah.
Good kick down.
We gotta go do a launch control,
Does it have launch control?
probably. Or you can just brake torque it.
You can get some wheelie action.
Yeah. Look at that.
No,
Not bad.
not bad. Nice to see my mile per gallon averages consistently dropping.
12.4.
Yeah.
We're getting there. You said you were getting 13.
13.4 it was.
13. Yeah. Now let's try this. Let's see here.
Oh, it'll spin all four wheels. I
You
found
think
that out
so?
yesterday. Yeah.
How come it's not turning it off?
I might have to be stopped.
There we go. I mean, it's pretty quick. That wasn't necessarily a launch control,
Yeah.
but it was
It also shut itself off before that.
something, something like it. A little bit of a sloppy launch. You get the idea. Oh, yeah, definitely stiffer in dynamic mode. Let's take us out of dynamic mode. We have seen that this thing can handle. Let's go into comfort. Cruise a little bit.
What I like about these drive modes is they don't necessarily affect like your transmission mapping or your
Yes.
throttle. It's all just kind of like suspension related.
It's true.
Which
Ride
is
height.
nice. Right. And sometimes like I want to be in sport mode in an automatic car, but I don't like driving in sport mode in an automatic car because it leaves you at like 4,000 RPM at all times.
Exactly, yeah.
And in this car it's separate, which is nice.
Flip it over.
Yeah, right.
And the gear selector is the right direction. It's up for downshift and back for
That's so
upshift.
important. Like genuinely. It's
Just like a trophy truck.
Yes. It's a cool shifter.
It is. I'll give you first too, pretty low. I love this turning radius. This is so much fun. Oh man,
This creaks a little when I'm hanging on, but that's fine.
that's okay. There's lots of grab handles. There's lots of clever cubbies in this Defender 90.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't really talk about is the last Defender 90 I had a jump seat right here instead of this whole center console situation.
That's a cooler.
This has a cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I like this. This is nice. The jump seat is cool, but this is so much more useful. So, about what I was expecting with this. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a Defender with a V8. I think
And
it's
an Alcantara.
overpowered. Yeah, and an Alcantara wheel.
Right. Do I think it's overpowered? No.
Yeah. No. Okay.
No, not at all. I think it's just right. And any more power would be scary.
Yeah.
It's right at that sweet spot where it's like a ooh, but it's not like a ah, you know?
The suspension. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of sometimes, but it depends on your confidence and
True.
your bravery with your
Very true.
right foot. Yeah, I'm surprised at how well the suspension handles in this. I mean, air suspension you can do a little bit more with. Combine that with the adaptive dampers. Have some fun. Highlights. Love the steering wheel. I think this is just a great design.
Yeah.
And Alcantara with the blacked out
Yep.
spokes, it just looks super proper.
Feels nice in the hands.
It does, it
When
does.
you've got the cold sweats, your hands don't slip off. 'cause
Yeah.
It's Alcantara.
That's right. Yeah, some off-roading in this. You might. This can scare some people. It has a lot of capability.
Yeah.
All right, we're not going to do a launch, but we're just going to roll into it aggressively.
Okay.
Gosh, 60's got to happen in
Yeah.
around 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely under 5.
Yeah. I like these paddles too. They're really nice and just they have a good resistance to
Yeah.
them. They're metal.
Yep. I've also been like tapping my nails on them as I go down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they make a good noise. That's fun. This is just a fun SUV to wheel around. The short wheelbase makes it that much more enjoyable to just kind of chuck around town, and it feels agile.
It does.
So comparing this to the Bronco, the GX, the Wrangler 392, this and the GX and the Wrangler are the only V8 vehicles. But the GX is more of a, it's slow, it's under stress, it's overbuilt,
Well,
but it still has a V8.
Right, and this like splits the difference between those two.
It does.
Because the Wrangler 392 is just nice. The Wrangler 392 is just insane. Like, it's just violent, and it's like I don't know. What other adjectives would you use?
It's hilarious. It's super fun. It's also, it's about the same price, I guess. It's about 90 grand. This is a little bit more, but this is a little bit more of a refined vehicle than the Wrangler.
Exactly.
The Wrangler does have the best suspension that I've ever driven on a Jeep Wrangler, but it's still just a Jeep, and this is a much more of a step up in terms of a luxurious, comfortable, nicer luxury vehicle.
Yeah.
The Wrangler is really, really fun, though.
It is.
I don't know, if I were spending 100 grand, I'd probably put my money at that Wrangler 392.
Yeah, it's tough for me because that Wrangler 392 is like one of my favorite cars I've ever driven.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'd want to live with one.
Yeah.
Like, I like driving it once a year for a week, that's fine. But I don't think I'd want to actually have it.
This is actually comfortable. It's quiet. This is a very daily drivable vehicle. And every Jag or Land Rover with this supercharged V8 they all end up about 100 grand.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of to be expected.
Motor.
It is, yeah. It does good things. Bronco, I think the Bronco is a little bit more athletic. Like, it handles a little bit better. It's a little bit more maybe fun to drive, a little bit lighter. Doesn't have the V8, but some good engine options in that. Still plenty of power.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll give us a V8 in the Bronco one day, but I'm not getting my hopes up.
I know. I'm not holding my breath for any V8s and Fords anytime soon. They've been teasing that Raptor V8 forever, but who knows? I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep.
All right. Well, this has been a pleasure. Any final thoughts?
I want to drive one of these in Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, I could. This is a great oh man, I can see people just cruising around London in this, downtown. This would be, I mean,
it's just like, it's so sinister. Like,
it's very sinister.
It's very cool.
Like how the reverse camera paints the picture of what's underneath you.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Important.
That'd be so nice for off-roading.
Stumps and rocks and whatever else. Let's see what's going on around you.
Let's slam this in access height and see what happens.
You have to, access. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's all the way, I think.
Yeah, you're all the way down.
Yeah, good. Just turned off.
It's already off.
It's already off.
If you hit it again, it'll turn accessory mode on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I didn't even need to hit the button. Cool. It shrinks so much when you lower the suspension.
yeah. Now it's all stanced out.
Yeah. It looks good on the 22s, but honestly, I would throw just a nice small set of wheels on here. Big chunky off-road tires. You wouldn't be able to go too much smaller. Maybe
Those brakes are massive.
these brakes are huge.
They're so big.
Maybe go down to 19s or 20s.
Probably.
Yeah. 245 or 275 at 45 R22. I don't imagine there are a lot of off-road tires in those sizes, but you never know.
I'm sure they make setups.
Yeah.
Because you definitely want to swap these out if you're going off-road.
Great spec too. All right, guys, that's it for this one. This has been the TheTopher and Substitute Topher talking about the V8 Defender. Glad we got some time in this, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys later. Take care.